Alright guys, so let's eat our food here. Wow, we got some cheese. We got some cheeseburgers today. Wow, look at this. This looks good. Yeah. Yep. So it was fixed until the one concurrent got in here before the rest of you. So what you're going to see is later, you're going to see it was fixed until that one concurrent got in here. And then you're going to see like that the stream gets all broken up. And then the next time you hear from me, so like I said, we got in here initially to cause some sort of problem, and the point is they're sitting here and downloading the stream. Yep, the police are downloading the stream. That's what they're doing. Yep. I can't wait to show this to my lawyer. I can't wait. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about how the police are sitting here downloading the stream and causing it to have all these problems. Because again, there's this remote connection. And so again, they're sitting here trying to cause a reaction. A long time ago, I already told you guys, remember how I told you guys, like I have something very personal going on and the police are harassing my family? A long time ago, they used to sit here and you know, move the bit rate around at the beginning of the stream and stuff, specifically for this purpose, to cause a reaction. And as soon as I would yell and rage out and stuff about the bit rate around, they would just stop. It would just get complete connection, totally fine. And so I started calling it out. I started calling out that it was police. And they got really scared and they backed out and stuff like that. I started calling it out over and over and over. And so they just started backing out, and then they started changing what they were doing over and over and over. So I'm going to show you again. This is not happening. And then basically what they did is they instituted a hands-free law in this state with the specific purpose to harass me and anybody streaming in public and stuff like that, so that they could go around and do this whole ICE thing, probably. So basically, you know, the hands-free thing doesn't actually warrant if you're actually, you know, hands-free. It's actually okay. So that's where they screwed up. But the problem is that they are using this to attack people. Like that's the whole point. Like, the whole point is, as you can see, the stream's all stuttery, but it's totally fine now. As you can see, it's totally fine, except for until a few seconds. And that's again because that person, that No Sleep Wiblo, came in here. He was that one concurrent right at the start of the stream, and he was immediately in here, and he was maliciously shifting the bitrate around the very second that I started the stream. which is what he's doing every single time the stream starts to cause all these problems. He does it. I watch it happen on my streams even at home. Like I told you guys, when my stream starts, it says excellent connection, and it just goes no data for like several seconds. And then as it says no data, I see a huge influx of traffic, even though it says no data. So basically, he is taking that traffic down to like 16 or 20, when really it's this, what you see now. And that's what he's always been doing. And you see it causes problems for the stream, where other streamers would think your stream looks bad and then come troll you and stuff, like Cookie Dough did. Remember Cookie Plays? Yeah, that fucking asshole that sat here and just harassed me. So that's what we're talking about. Like, literally, he just got people to harass my channel that didn't understand that I was here to help and tell you how to do things, because my streams would always be quality. So he started messing with the technical side of things and causing this to happen. You're going to see it get stuttery. It just did, I think. So that's what's happening here. So, like, he doesn't understand how these things work. So basically, he's always been sitting here trying to manipulate things to get something to happen where, like, the cops would do something, because he knew ever since I came on stream and said that the police are harassing my family, okay, I'm going to use that. So that's all he's been doing. And basically, he's been using it now and learning how to do it with other people. He's been doing it to 365, he's been doing it to other people, where he knows certain things about these people and then uses them. And again, that shouldn't be the case. Like, that's incrimination. That's, like, again, trying to manipulate a situation, a premeditative crime, where you're manipulating the outcome. Just like, you know, all these people that are you know, committing these crimes, if they're doing so while being manipulated and influenced, then you know, obviously both parties are at fault. So you're just going to see, again, it continues to be smooth. We've done this a million times, where we've proven that it's not really an issue with the device. He's trying to cause that issue where it seems like that. And again, what they do is they sit here and they download the stream and save it, and they keep it. And they sit here and look for any little thing that they can use, because again, as they were doing it on YouTube, it was leaving a data trail. And so everybody will be able to see all the cops that sat there and watched the stream and stuff like that. So they've been starting to download it, and they're going to hold on to it and sit here and look at it and blah, 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 and try to find every little thing to do with it. And, yeah, it's the psychological warfare. It's literally cops doing it. It's them instigating it. Just like the Texas cop that you saw that said that it was everybody's fault, that, you know, these murders and stuff, they're anti-ICE, and it's the people's fault online and stuff like that. So then, you know, it's the sort of thing where that they are doing this, and like I said, gets a reaction out of these people by doing this, then you know, something would have happened already. You know what I'm saying? But this person is essentially getting that reaction out of them. So let me show you that this is still just fine. Okay, totally fine. Totally fine, nothing wrong with it. So we're just going to continue showing this, and I'm going to try to organize this for you guys today, as I already said. See how it even does it on that camera? That's So like the point is that it's just a thing that messes up the frame intervals for the stream and causes problems for the processing. It's what he's doing for the streams for the games and stuff too. Because that's why, like, if you go back to like a year ago when I was streaming, some of them looked a little bit more smooth. That's why, because he's sitting here actually disrupting and where think that it's a weak connection too. Even the software thinks it, even though it's not the case. I'm going to go ahead and show you that too. That'll be evidence. So basically, again, this is not actually happening, as you can see. You know, like totally fine. So basically, I've learned that this person is sexually obsessed with me. I have learned that because they come in my chat impersonating family members. They did this every stream, saying sexual things and stuff like that. I have learned that this person, you know, again, they steal people's account information and pose as other people and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's a very personal, weird sort of thing where this person likes to pretend to be other people. They have an identity issue. They steal other people's identities. They assume they're, you know, who they are. They want to be that person. And basically that's what this person's doing. He wanted to masquerade and pretend to be me for a while. And so he stole a bunch of streams from my channel, reposted them. You know, like it's a sexual thing. He has a sexual fantasy with me. And it's very strange. And so that's the point. He's just doing this. It's a sexual fantasy. And like I said, he took pictures of like young girls and stuff off Facebook, like young girls, not even women, like young girls and stuff, and like stalked them off Facebook and was like posting them in his like thumbnails and stuff on his page and all that. So basically, the point is that what he's doing is he is continually using illegal means to spy on people using their devices. And it's being done with AI. So that's why, like, instantly there'll be 2 bots that come in the stream that alert and stuff like that. You know, when I say certain things, and that's why I mentioned this a lot, is because it's being done with AI. And so therefore, because basically it's like 2 streams on top of each other. Like, I have no problem running this stream, but the network, well, handling 2 streams on top of each other on the same device, yeah, now it would overheat, and now it would have problems, and now. So basically, that's what he's doing. He's making my device take the processing hit for what he is doing to record the stream and steal it and stuff like that. And he is using AI to geo-position my where I am. So, like, he basically, that's how he was able to figure out address and stuff like that. He is sitting here and learning geo-positioning and stuff like that, learning where things are, and probably has a residence nearby now. Where, like maybe years ago when he first started doing this, he didn't, and learned how good my internet was. You know, I told him I could install a 130 gig game in fucking 7 minutes. So he immediately really wanted to steal my internet. And so he started doing it, and I started proving he was doing it. So he started very slowly trying to figure out where he could be in the area that he could hide and continue to do this. And so that's what he's doing. He's sort of kind of bouncing around and using VPNs and masquerading, probably as me, and just sort of kind of logging in, to various things using account information and stuff like that, and posing as he'll sometimes intercept calls and pose as people. So like, what's really crazy is this actually involves why I just did this just now too. Is there's something going on where they're manipulating the general public, and so basically I've had indicators where, as you guys know, because he's doxing me, people see me, and we already proved to you guys that somebody came in here and doxed somebody in my stream. Like, they typed his name like a couple of times, and I told him to stop. Like, obviously we don't dox people, but the point was, I tried to find this person after they did that, just simply doing a simple search for the name to see if I knew who it was, and I couldn't, because they have safeguards for that. So good, right? Now, by the next day, Facebook gave me a friend suggestion for this person that is halfway across the country that I've never met. And all because, again, they were mentioned in my live chat on YouTube. Because people literally, and it was only like once or twice. It really wasn't even that many times. And it was just that one time, that one stream, this person. They may have done it like a while back, one time, but it really was very, very insignificant. And again, like, it's just a random name, one time, and, a state. That's all they did. They just said what state he was in. And by the next morning, I had a friend suggestion for this person, and I keep getting the friend suggestion, quite like, almost as if it's like a harassment, almost like this person that's stalking me is trying to get me to, like, interact or something with this person, or like, I have no idea, but like, it is like to a harassment level where I am getting a suggestion for this person, like, just all the time, and so that's what happened with me, where all these police and stuff like that, basically this person harassed me and made me think, basically the whole point was to make you guys think that I thought it was this or that, or, so the whole point is that at any time, anybody could think this. He's trying to weaponize this. So the concept is to manipulate the police and anybody and stuff like that would know about the situation and stuff, to be watching right then. Just like I told you about the friend suggestion, where I was, again, these people just doxed a name in my chat, didn't even know the person one time, and then the next day, and remember, I even tried to find the person and couldn't, and the next day, I have a harassment level of suggestions for this person, and so basically, this person's doing that, and they're doing it for the police, too. And they're doing it for anybody in the area, where basically that's what he's doing. He's geo-positioning me and trying to get the people, like at the McDonald's that I'm at or wherever I am, to know that it's me. To, to ping their devices, their phones and stuff like that, and get their, because he's stealing account information. So if he has enough trackers and cookies and stuff like that, all he's got to do is literally just, again, like I said, he's figuring out what McDonald's I'm at. So I flip the camera, yada, yada, yada. He has a pretty good idea. It's pretty obvious then. And so he just literally shows everybody where I am and stuff like that. And shifts the bit rate around and causes these problems. So people tune in and all they see is a conspiracy theorist talking about the bitrate shifting around and police harassing his family and yada, yada, yada. So you see what I'm talking about. Where somebody really is stalking and harassing me and everything that's going on here on my channel, and YouTube didn't do a fucking thing. They did jack fucking shit. I reported this guy for so goddamn long, and I've already sat here and read the emails to you of how they were blatantly not doing anything, and watching this person harass in real time every single fucking stream. This person was so malicious. I would be sitting there on a stream, just doing a stream, and this person is just coming in my chat, endlessly spamming my chat, again, on an account with my name typed as the title of the account, or a police officer, or posing as police in chat, or my mom, or several other people in my family, and coming in my chat, doxing their information, their picture, and saying either sexual things, or posing as police, telling me to end the stream, telling me they're coming to my house, and I better end the stream, or all the times that he came in on a random account and made death threats. We have that. I have all the evidence of that. I showed that to police. So basically, that's what we're dealing with, where this person is trying to show all these people as he is harassing me. He wants everybody to see him harassing. This is a sexual thing. So, like, basically, he gets off on other people seeing him harass me. Because my reaction, again, was always to, basically out of the fact that the bit rate and stuff like that would be okay if I was complaining or raging or something like that. So therefore, I have to do that for you to hear what I'm saying. And so for you, the whole point was for you to notice the patterns and see what's, like, why am I being shown this stream? And so, just like I'll remind you that there are certain people that I've had to, quite frankly, block and act as if we are enemies and threats and stuff, because I saw a very real thing that led me to believe that this person is trying to use your information to figure out my information to figure out your information, essentially, like trying to get something to happen where, like I said, this person clearly can read text messages between me and my mom, where it's very obvious to me this person has caused problems for our cell phones. I've gone to great length to prove that to you and my cell phone company. I've shown you evidence of that. It's the sort of thing where the whole point is to, again, affect as many people as they can around this person, so that way, again, those people are manipulated to believe those things that everybody is seeing, that this person's getting them to see a certain way, yada yada yada. So you never, the point is, we were talking about all these streams that we would do that were so chill, that were relaxing and stuff like that, and then we get fucking 20 views, we get like fucking 30 views. And we were talking about this for so long, and about how ass backwards it is, and sometimes those streams will have a video clip, and you hover over the video clip, and it's not even the stream. We did 9 to 10 hours of gameplay, and it's conveniently a video clip of a fucking loading screen or a menu or something like that. And we know YouTube systems don't work like this. We know YouTube systems work as intended, and again, if they don't, somebody's using that. So just like I'm completely lose the ability to revert my stream to original so it processes properly, conveniently all of my streams now are being processed after they finish streaming, so that way they can remove all these views, because they have learned that if it's processing, the view count is locked for everybody. Nobody can see what it actually is. It doesn't update, nor do the likes. So therefore they can sit here and they can just have that processing for full 24 hours, and all these views that happen in between there, or that they're supposed to update, just never happen, and they can just lie about it, and they start taking them all off. And that's what's been going on, where they're taking them all off as that happens, as that processing is happening, where we do a very basic fucking 2-hour stream, and they weren't processing this the entire time I was streaming with a goddamn fucking bit rate of over 13,000. Are you kidding me? That's the purpose of that. and you're not processing it until after, yes, then again, that's your system malfunctioning. And again, we know that that's not the case. We know that for X amount of time, we were talking about this and constantly giving them notes to make it better. And they were doing so with my notes. So now what they're doing is, again, this person is making it all work opposite. And like I said, they took that feature, revert to original, which would have allowed me to simply fix these things. And like I said, we even had problems with that feature throughout the years. Where that feature, I would have this processing issue where this person literally took that feature, again, knowing that that's the thing that fixes the stream. Where again, this feature is conveniently broken and takes 8 hours a piece to fail. Yet the very third time I do it, it instantly fucking functions. It instantly processes the stream, and suddenly that 1440 is magically back. Suddenly the 1440, again, looks like it should have been there the whole time. And the third time I hit that button, it instantly processes all that 1440 after failing for fucking 16 hours in a row. No, the whole point is that person was doing that. The whole point was that they were seeing what I was doing. They didn't know about these things. They don't know how to use YouTube. They were literally sitting here watching me remotely, figuring out how I was doing this. Now they are good at YouTube, and they have reversed engineered how I do it simply by screwing with my channel and fucking with my viewership. And again, watching what I was doing behind the scenes, and all while taking every single feature from me that was helping me do what I needed to do behind the scenes to already fix the things that this person was breaking, that were already bad about YouTube. And so the whole point is that all these content creators that came on here, that wanted to know how I did something, remember that? They're going to look really guilty now. Remember how many times Cookie Dough Plays wanted to know how I did something? He really wanted to know how I did something. He needed to know. Well, why don't you just ask YouTube or Google? You're that fucking stupid? You don't know? So why are you asking me? Why are you hanging out in my stream? Why are you at work in my stream? Being seen in my stream while you're supposed to be working? The whole point is that all these guys that sat here asking for help all this time, all they were doing was stealing my traffic and organizing and communicating with each other to learn how I was doing everything I was doing to make my streams the way they were. Because remember, anytime I would say, what, you want to know how, like I'd rage out, and then finally, after like 4, 6, 5 hours of raging out, I'd be like, you want to know how I do it? And like I would just state it, and then suddenly you'd see all the likes go up. You'd see like them like the stream, and then everybody would disappear. I would get no views for a while. Like the bitrate wouldn't shift around, but I'd just get no views for a while. And then I would do these chill streams and stuff like that, and no views, but the bitrate wouldn't shift around. And so that's what they've been doing. They've been just sitting here stealing any knowledge. And, manipulating the situation so that they can essentially learn how to do what I am doing and how I am doing it. Just like you see when I put my bitrate on the screen and they stop doing what they're doing, and then instantly all these fucking people come in the chat in accounts you've never seen before that are like, why do you have a bitrate over 13,000? How do you do that? Duh, how do you have internet? Duh. So the whole point is that, like, it couldn't possibly be what I've told them since the beginning. It couldn't possibly have been the truth. Yeah, I couldn't have possibly just came on here knowing what I was doing, telling them the truth. I have good fucking internet, the best The same fucking wireless carrier that even the NSA trusts the towers. So of course it's fast. And you're literally all so fucking stupid. None of you, like, you literally just, it couldn't possibly be that. And then you see the result. You see what happens. You see, again, that these people have been sitting on here conducting organized crime. You know, online harassment. And this is federally illegal. Incredibly illegal. You cannot do this shit. It's incredibly illegal. You know, and just doxing people and finding out, like, their information, too, and then just, like, doxing it all over the internet. Even doing it, like, a few times shows that you have intent to spread that person's information out there. You know, their personal, private, identifiable information, with the purposes of, you know, trying to get, you know, harm, you know, whether it be identity theft or otherwise, to happen. And, like, we all know this. This is why police make a big deal of when you know, instantly police are doxxed. Oh man, they do something immediately. And celebrities and stuff like that. Like, this is why it's incredibly known in California. And this is a lot of why, you know, like, essentially these laws happen, because people were, you know, trying to stalk and harm celebrities, and it's really fucked up. Yeah, just like these people just sit here and watch these people and become obsessed with them and then start stalking them. It's fucked up. And then they start using other people and lying to them as to why they're doing it. Obviously, this person lied to a bunch of people, got information out of even people I know, lying to them, pretending to be, you know, whoever he's pretending to be, to get information out of them. Oh, I just care. I'm trying to help. I'm a friend. Well, in reality, he found this information out, you know, probably through terrible means, through means that he shouldn't have, through lying, through deception. And that's harassment. And yeah, like I said, we're gonna work to get that to you guys and organize what's been going on, you know, with this. We are. But, you know, just remember that the whole point is to use something simple to explain it all away. That's what this person's doing. They're trying very hard to use psychological manipulation, to use something very simple to just explain it all away, where these people are very easy to manipulate. These Trump voters, these people I've always talked about, where they're the ones that are being manipulated. Like, everybody else is already on my side. They understand. It's happening to them too. They know it. They're like, yep, seen that shit. You guys are the only ones. Like, that's it. And that's the whole point, is you're the one being manipulated. You're the one that doesn't see it for what it is. You're the one being manipulated, and the whole point is that the things aren't as they seem. You know, you can't do that. You can't use a simple explanation for a complicated scenario. You just can't. There's a bunch of different things. Like, for example, we'll talk about this a little later, but the shootings and the escalations of that stuff, well, a lot of it actually has more to do with poverty. And you're blaming it on hate, what people are saying. We'll talk about it. But it's don't take the fool's way out. Don't take the simple fool's way out. That's not how it works. Just remember, there'll be some sort of like simple basic thing, and then there's a couple of things that I'm going to go over probably later where this person has used a couple of these things, and now that I know that you guys have seen this enough times, I can sort of state what these are. But the problem with stating them initially is then you state what they are, and then that person then starts kind of running with it. You know, then they go, oh well, now I can use that because he stated it. You know. So you have to see enough of it to understand that's not the case. To be like, well, yeah, except then this. You know. And remember what I stated. The whole point is to manipulate you, and this is cancel culture at its finest. So the whole point is to manipulate you. The biggest agenda altogether is to get you to hate American companies. Specifically. South Korean too. Like Samsung and stuff like that. But definitely American companies. So don't forget about that. Don't forget that a lot of this is manufactured to get you to switch cell phone carriers and stuff like that. The problem is, you do that, now it's just going to start happening with that next carrier a few months later. It's just going to migrate. That is something we'll get into. But a lot of that is the other people behind the scenes doing things, realizing what's going on, and using it to their advantage. That's what that is. So we'll go over that a little bit, but that's what you see there, where there's a huge number of that going on. Like just, you know, because of Trump doing what he's doing, there's a lot of these people further up that are wealthy and stuff like that, that have power in these companies and are seeing what's happening and trying to influence things, use this to their advantage, basically. Take advantage. You know, as I'm stating this and they're seeing this happening and they know what's actually happening, they could fix it, but they exacerbate for their advantage. You know, we're like, like, for example, more channels like me that are endless ideas and stuff like that. All that ends up happening is they'll lie about the views. And then you'll never see that I played this one game first before this one really big content creator, and now this one big content creator is playing it. But they sat there processing that stream for 24 fucking hours and lying about the views. So you think that other content creator played that game first. But really, I played it first. I was playing it, yada, yada, yada. They found out about it because of me. But really, those mods and the people behind the scenes that know what's going on, the people that are sort of kind of more tech savvy and paying attention to these things and what's going on, they're taking advantage of that. And it's not necessarily always the content creators that are aware of it. I think maybe a couple would be, but I think it's more their mods and people that have jobs that, you know, like they couldn't possibly lose their job to somebody that might be better at it than them or something like that. Or you know, like they've just always been lying to this person and manipulating and using this content creator and stuff like that and stealing other people's ideas. So they have to continue doing it. Like maybe they started as a scammer or whatever. You know, the endless possibilities, who knows. But I really see that. That is, you know, it's who else do you think is doing all of this? You know, why can I still go look at a stream? Now we'll talk about that later, but it's pretty bad. We got to organize this, and I will. This is only the latest. To detect whenever there's a video transmission. So they're using cell towers to do this. Basically, it's the point is that they're breaching this wireless network. They're breaching AT&T. They're trying. Again, I think it's just the piece of trash Trump administration misusing the NSA, as I've said before. As Trump has admitted that he's going to start attacking political opponents, I do think that he is sitting here monitoring this and stuff like that, and he is using the NSA to screw around with people. However, I think that this troll that was infatuated with me, that has caused all this, got that to happen, essentially. He was the one trolling, you know, the NSA has you and stuff like that, like over a year ago. You know, lo and behold, Donald Trump is now using illegal means to attack political opponents. And I'm not even a political opponent. You know, he just, the point is he's always been lying about my views. So if you knew how many views I had, it would probably make more sense. And that's why he's doing that. Because if he sits here and lies about the views, it doesn't make any sense. But if you see what the views are, it suddenly makes sense. And I think somebody is trying to let those creep through. I think somebody is trying to show you what I'm getting, what I'm actually getting. I think somebody is trying to, because you see it. Obviously, we've seen it in this stream. We've seen it in several streams. You see that somebody is trying to show you what we should be getting. And you also see the device isn't actually overheating. Now, we proved this before. I proved this with... I did a stream in the car where we drove and that whole stuttery thing happened. Because the whole point is they're shifting the bitrate around and messing up the device to get out of sync with the stream. And so the whole point is that they have sat here and figured out how to make the device think it's overheating and actually cause the streaming software to make that even happen at times and stuff like that, even though it shouldn't be. Just like what they're doing with the cars, where all these things are constantly on, off, on, off, on, off with the car, and then it uses too much battery power or something like that. That's exactly what they're doing. It is literally just pulling way too much fucking battery because it's just sitting here idling, making it think it needs more juice, and it doesn't. Basically all these problems just start happening. And, the whole point is they're trying to make, he remembers when Samsung had these phones that blew up a while back. That's probably what they're trying to do. They're trying to make that happen, or something like that. Where we've seen all these cars blowing up and stuff like that, and they have absolutely made this work, and they know they've made it work. So now what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it happen, on a bigger scale where it's just like individuals. Where they're like their phones are just blowing up and stuff like that. And so like that's what they're always trying to do, is just escalate this. Again, like I said, they're trying to get to police cars. They're trying to get to first responders. So again, that's what you see with my vehicle, where it's just constantly all these. Like I said, one day, like it was totally fine. The car's fine, it's fine. And then just one day, all at once on the stream again, where we're having, even the FPS is moving around on my device, where we normally don't even see the FPS moving around. It's just the bit rate. No, this was so malicious. Even the FPS was affected. And then all of a sudden, all at once, all these lights started going off on my car. The traction control, the four-wheel drive, the fucking ABS, just everything on off. All this shit. Radar. All this shit. On off. They are trying to get to the point that when shit hits the fan, and if there is a civil war, they want to be able to hack into police vehicles and shut them down. That's what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to do. And that's why they're trying to get into more American companies, AT&T, yada, yada, yada. If they have that breach in the NSA, that's it. I mean, that's the end of it. And they probably do. Because Donald Trump is irresponsible and uses it to attack people. So now these individuals will have access to that technology because Donald Trump's irresponsible with it. Because he doesn't understand that's how it works. It's a two-way street. If you use it irresponsibly, now that remote person has that. Just like all the police that looked me up irresponsibly, thinking that they could just do that, just look me up on a website or something like that, and that's not going to have some sort of effect. No. There is now a data trail to every single one of you that did that. And it links to me. So it's literally as simple as me following that data trail and finding, literally your address is there. You just literally find your address. So that's what I'm talking about. I have every single one of those cops that looked me up. I instantly have their address. And they have no idea this is how this works. No clue. They're so stupid. They're filling out these stupid things where they're doing background checks on people on websites instead of using their own police things. And that's what's happening. They're getting nicked on their own data and getting doxxed and stuff like that because they're using these third-party companies and stuff like that when they shouldn't be doing that in the first place. They shouldn't be illegally off the clock looking people up and stuff like that. They shouldn't be doing that because they're a cop and they took an oath. So that's the point. The whole point is they would use their computer. Like, if they could do this, they would use their database, their police database. The whole point is they're doing things they shouldn't be doing, looking people up when they shouldn't be, because otherwise they would. That's the point. So that's what I rationalized, and this person's following that around. And the thing with the car escalated, where all these things are going on with my car now. And again, like I said, the car was totally fine. Regular service. Blatantly regular service. And, you know, again, it's very obvious that they are trying to get people in the area, like where you would go to get your car fixed, or like where you go get your food, to dislike you, to, you know, see you in a certain light when you're streaming and you're complaining about things, specifically Trump voters that would think ill of you and stuff like that, and want to cause harm or want to do things to you. So the whole point is to get these people to give you bad food or give you bad service, or, you know, like otherwise treat you really poorly. So I will promise you there's going to be a very massive investigation, and everybody's going to be questioned at some point. And, you know, like, it's going to be the certain thing where if anybody didn't simply just do what they were supposed to do, like their job, you know, anything looks out of place, you're going to be questioned. It's going to be the sort of thing where, like, it's going to look like you recognized this and joined in. You know, you didn't just simply, you know, fix something, or, you know, like do something correctly. You intentionally caused more of a problem. It's going to get looked at. It's going to be looked at under a microscope. So you can't sit here and you can't have dumbass employees that take advantage of the money that they're paid, that, you know, like, just want to fucking sit down when they made a bunch of mistakes. You can't do that. You can't have that. You can't have that happen, because then that gives every rational explanation to the individuals researching it to go, well, you know, if that garage had that happen where just for a really long time you kept having these things go on, well, what they're going to do is they're going to successfully make that 5-star review, that 10 out of 10 company look really fucking shitty. And that's the point. Ending American jobs. Making it look like Americans are stupid even at trade, even though they're not. Americans are very smart with engineering. We have some of the best. Very, very smart with technology and engineering and culture. Very smart. That's the point. And that's education. And that's going away soon. Donald Dirt Idiot defunded the Department of Education, so, you know, schools will just lose their funding eventually. And you know, just the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, the middle class goes away. And then all these privately owned businesses go away. Suddenly, if you're worth a damn, some rich person's just going to show up, buy you out, just like the mob does, and probably force you to do the work too. Probably force you to continue working there. All while your profits go to the government. That's what fascism is. You will work. Your company will get taken over. He'll come in and take everything you have, and you will work for him. You won't own that. You don't own anything in fascism. Remember that. You don't own anything. Nope. You didn't work hard for that. That's not yours. Yep. So you can kiss your Mustang and your Tesla and your Land Rover, whatever you got. That's a really cool ride. You can kiss that goodbye because you won't be able to afford it. You're lucky if you'll be able to afford food. The value of the U.S. dollar is already almost, declined to the point that the euro is going to exceed it. And you think this isn't happening? Oh, it is. It's already happened. World War III has already happened, and you haven't realized it. Israel and all that shit going on, Russia and Ukraine. World War III has happened. We just haven't gotten involved yet, or pretended like we haven't. Trump's getting involved, though. So again, Pete Hegseth calling a bunch of military personnel into a meeting, never a good idea. Stupid. One of the dumbest things you could ever do. Mistake number one. Get everybody together in one room. Well, yep. So all the cameras that are looked at, all the stuff that's going on, that again, they're using the NSA, facial recognition AI. They are just sitting there using all of those military personnel, looking at them through their phones. They wanted the enemy to be able to see them. They were probably transmitting that to the enemy. Did a bunch of military join that meeting, and then suddenly you were baffled when your service was cut on your cell phone? Like you just didn't have any service for some reason? Or it was just in and out, it was spotty? Do you wonder why? Do you fucking wonder why? Because right at that moment that's happening, they're looking through your camera. That's why that's happening. Which is why I have a constant connection. Remember when I told you I turn on my phone and it pings my location every single solitary time I turn on my phone? So it's supposed to do that. You shouldn't see the location ping show up when I turn my phone on. And after I said this on stream, I saw it get to a minimum where it looked like they were trying to hide the ping, not change it. They were just trying to hide the fact that the little ping showed up to indicate that my phone was tracking my location. And my location service was not on, was completely off. And again, let me remind you what happened when somebody's name was doxed one time in my chat. Didn't know him, couldn't find him. And it was just a name and a state. Once. And you think that your phone can't be geo-positioned and used to track your location, and that Pete Hegseth is a fucking retard for putting all the military personnel in one room. You think that is not an immediate matter of national security? You're stupid. You don't deserve that job. You really just are dumb. And he is. He doesn't have any qualification to do that job. None. Pete Hegseth is a fucking retard. But anyway, as you can see, I have some yard work to do. The leaves are falling. I have stuff to do. I will try to get some of this, some more of this done so that we can actually get to this later, as I promised, to continue organizing these things. Again, we've done this before, where I said an intelligent conversation about what's happening with my channel, or what's going on my channel or something like that. We've done that before, but then that was conveniently one of the lowest viewed intelligent conversations we had. Conveniently. And we have these streams where we seemingly just get food and eat food. And then we're trying to pretend like those are the streams that get all these views and stuff like that, and not the ones where I'm actually telling you, like, educating you, giving you real intelligence, talking about real current events, standing in front of you. I actually bother to look nice, to try to care about what I say, put a lot of thought into it, and that no, that doesn't trend. The food streams, yep, that. Well, I could tell you why. I sort of wanted to tell you later, but since there's so many people in here, I'll tell you why. It's because 40-some thousand people saw my review on Google for Domino's. That's it. That's why. So this person is using that trending. I mean, geez, it's just my channel in general. So the point is, that's why they shift the bitrate around. The point is, they're shifting the fucking bitrate around, because I would get trending other times where I have stuff where I'm saying, this is good, this is a good product, this is a really good product, this is awesome. This person is trying to literally make you think I shit on everything, just like certain other content creators do. Just like when certain other content creators get views for shitting on everything. Remind you of somebody else that gets nonstop views? Exactly. People that vote for Trump. Because all they do is shit on everything. Because the point is, everybody's against Trump at this point. So therefore, you have to shit on everything. Because you're fucking stupid and in denial. Notice how the stream's been fucking smooth too. Yep. Nothing wrong with the device. As I've stated many times, they are using the network. They're slowing down the company. They are making the company look bad. And again, as I said, this is just because Donald Trump is using the NSA irresponsibly, because the NSA uses AT&T towers. That's it. So that's why you're experiencing this with AT&T. And then the stupid people actually sit here and they're like, well, maybe it's because of your carrier. Well, your carrier's bad. And then they think AT&T is just bad. It's like, no, there's a reason that the National Security Administration uses their towers. They are the fastest and most reliable. Period. End of discussion. Period. End of discussion. So then, why all the stuff's cutting out? And yet everybody else can have streams just fine. Theirs doesn't regularly do this shit. Unless they start talking about that, then suddenly they start going around trying to make other people's streams look like shit. Remember the time I said that? And do you remember when a certain streamer who walks and stares at the ground actually said my streams don't do that? Remember that? And then the next time he went on stream and tried to do that, he had issues. Remember? I do. And as trolling and funny as that was, it's not funny. That's the point. You don't laugh at that. The point is, that proves it. He's trying to state, oh, my streams don't do that. They're going to fuck with you. They're going to make sure of it. Keep saying that. So, this is them attacking citizens. And again, like I said, the Trump administration is fucking stupid. They have caused this problem. They have leaked Pete Hegseth you know, the texts, all that, were basically somebody's data was leaked. They were texting war plans. They did this. You know, they breached our government to the world. You know, our government is now under attack and breachable because of the Trump administration. Because this stupid fucking piece of shit hired Fox News anchors that were plugged into everything, looked under a microscope forever. Everybody knew their name. Everybody knew their identity. This guy's being spied on. He's a drunk. Easily manipulated. Can't think for himself. Does stupid shit like getting all of military personnel in one room and actually thinks that's a good fucking idea. Doesn't have any rational thought about it. Just a moron. Yeah. That's what happened. That is literally what happened. And like I said, they're just geopositioning, trying to get as close as they can to use the fastest, strongest internet connection, mine, to do these things. That's why they targeted me. Because, yeah, of course I was sitting there and I was streaming with 1440. YouTube even increased my bitrate, knowing I had strong enough internet to handle it. Knowing that they don't typically do that. This person, all these people saw that happen. Everybody remembers that happening. And, you know, we're not talking about on mobile streams. We're obviously just talking about, you know, streaming stuff or that sort of thing. We're talking about what the internet can handle. I'm talking about my mobile provider. I'm not talking about that. Now, we're talking about that again. My bit rate is less than half what I normally have it at for those other streams even. So like just acting like that's the, you know, and that's why I even make it that low. Honestly, my stream should look a lot better. And I could do that. Except the problem is this person's always doing what they're doing. So you just never even see the stream if I had the bitrate higher. I used to be able to put the bitrate, I could easily sit here and stream on this mobile network with the bitrate at about 8,000. Easily. It can actually handle 9,000. It actually can. But I can put it at 8,000 comfortably and it does it fine. Just like I've sat here and I've proven to you that it handles 5,000 kbps, which is what it's at now, easily at 2 bars, 4G LTE. Easily. 2 bars, 4G LTE. Wow. 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 And you're sitting here at breaking up my stream during the fair when I have literally 5G plus full bars. Trying to pretend like that's enough. That's not enough. Are you kidding me? 5 gigahertz. No, the whole point is, I've told you this already. I've told you this already. The 5 gigahertz connections. Many people have those in their home, on their Wi-Fi, on all the time and they don't know it. And your internet's running like shit because somebody is literally using that 5 gigahertz connection. Just disable it. They're using it to steal your internet. It's 5 fucking gigahertz, man. What the hell are you ever going to use that for? That is literally for developers and, you know, people to do updates when they're like trying to like fix your system and fix your router, yada yada yada. That is literally for the tech guy. Like they're trying to sit here and download, like something really, really fast and stuff to fix it. Yeah. The whole point is that that's what that's for. Like that is not for regular use. And so you're sitting there with 5 gigahertz going through the air, and then also 5 gigahertz with AT&T. So they're sitting here using the same frequency because it's the same frequency. It's so easy. And then the little hint was the stream last night when we typed 0 day. That was your hint. The point is, these people are using secret communication. They're trying to knock down communications. They're taking out 911 emergency. They're taking out cell phones. They are probably using analog communications. That was a really good fucking show. They are probably using CB analog communications. Probably. And they're probably sitting there, like, listening to where the ambulances and stuff are going. Like, they're probably just, like, hanging out in the area. Because the whole point is now everything's connected. They probably didn't know for so long that that's how things worked. They're probably always trying to, like, what channel or signal with it. Well, you can't disrupt that. So you just have to monitor it, is the point. And so that's all they're doing. And the point is they're disrupting the cell phones and all that other stuff with those 5Gs, with the wireless connections that everybody's running. Because they can use all of the power of everybody's internet. That makes sense. Again, your normal connection, your normal Wi-Fi is 2.4 or 2.1. It's not 5. That's double. That's more than double. So that's the point. And a lot of people don't even know that's there. It's hidden. I'll bet you even the White House is so fucking stupid that they got a hidden fucking 5G connection. That's the point. Donald Trump doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And the whole point is there shouldn't even be Wi-Fi. Now that shit... Until there's somebody that sits here and develops a superior technology that has encrypted, traffic, like, the VPN and stuff like that. Like, that's how they're hiding themselves. Until somebody does that with wireless communications, you shouldn't use it. Period. Now, a lot of times, the mistakes that the streamers were making early on, way back, was the fact that they just simply thought that they didn't even understand that there wasn't a Wi-Fi. There was so many people on here that I was helping to understand that Wi-Fi wasn't your internet. That's just a wireless connection. Like, you should be wired in if you're streaming. Like, you're not going to even... What? So that was a mistake that people were like, and stuff like that, where this was like pissing off the people that were probably stealing their connections and using that stuff maliciously. And here I was reversing what they were doing, educating people on being smarter, on removing cookies and on trackers and stuff like that. Do I still teach it? I mean, once in a while, when somebody asks me for instruction, sure. Why not? That stuff doesn't go away, you know? That stuff really doesn't go away. It's like riding a bike. I mean, even if you don't do it for a while, you just sort of start doing it again. I have to get off here. Hello, Chris. Cause I have to, like I said, there's a bunch of chores I gotta do, and I gotta finish trying to organize this stuff for you, get it together. You'd love to see more martial arts videos. You do martial arts too. Well, what do you want to see more specifically? It would actually help if people tell me more what they want to see, actually. So I would appreciate some feedback on that. 365, hey man, I haven't seen you in a while. How's it going? You doing okay, man? Things going okay? You're back. Yeah, I actually kind of noticed that, like, I'll be honest with you, like, your channel disappeared from my subscriptions. I can't even see it. I had to look you up. And then I saw that you, like, weren't posting anything. So I figured there was a hiatus, but I wasn't sure. It was just really weird. But I'm glad that, to see you're back. I just, don't know why you're... I don't know if you heard me say this a while ago, but I had noticed that your channel disappeared from my subscriptions, and I thought they had unsubscribed me from you or something weird was going on. But nope, I looked at your channel and I was still, you know, like nothing had happened. It's just that your name disappeared from my subscriptions list. It's really weird. You're almost like, again, trying to get me to not think about you or your channel or something. You're like trying to remove it. Yeah, who knows? Well, I think it's that. You just took a month off. I understand. I've been getting thousands of viewers, and YouTube's been removing all of them. I've been getting thousands. I've been covering the mic, haven't I? I've been getting thousands of viewers, and YouTube is removing all of them. That's what's been going on here. We had 8,000 views, over 8,000 views in that one stream the one day. And other people in chat were saying it too. They were like, wow, look how many people were in here. There was like thousands all at one time. And that's just what the stream said at the end. I think it had more than that. I think it had more like 20,000 or something. because I think there was a time where there was like 10,000 viewers at once, something like that. It was close to that. And the person made a reference to it where he said, I've seen channels with 1,000 subscribers and 10,000 viewers. He said that on chat. So it's like, I know. And remember, the whole point is when I started, I could start streaming at the beginning of the day, and by the end of the day, I'd put all this work into it, and everybody'd be ready for like the stream at night, and everybody'd be there. It'd be like, you know, we spent all day like doing this stuff and leading up to the stream, and then everybody's there, and it was cool. And that's what we used to do because it's like a vlog channel, you know. But then, you know, as soon as that nonsense happened with all the views and the bit rate, that just changed the whole dynamic where, again, it's like opposite now. And they're still removing, like they're removing huge clumps of likes. And like, again, we saw 1,500 likes on that stream. And within seconds, I saw all these likes start coming off. So it's more than just like 30 now. Now it's thousands. Now it's like huge quantities. And so it's just much bigger numbers now where, you know, who knows how deep this goes with some other people that are doing it too. But the whole point is this happens to me. It's a real serious problem. They work good. Driverless cabs. Well, we've been discussing all the shit going on, and it's only been escalating. But I was actually just sort of kind of getting off stream right when you came in. I was sort of kind of getting off stream right when you came in. I gotta do some leaf blowing and probably cut the grass. And so I have to do that stuff, but I am gonna try to organize this for you guys for later. So you can see all of the, yeah, you can just see firsthand what I'm talking about with the service being at the bars that it is, that whole time we were at the fair, and then the bitrate's malicious. Like I was at the fair again, 365, and the whole time I was there I had 5G plus full service, and the bitrate was just maliciously shifting around. Like this piece of trash wouldn't allow me to stream even though I could. So I want to show you guys that and get you caught up with what's been going on. Yeah, so like just like earlier in this stream, I looked at it, and I think that the view count was at like, or I'm sorry, the like count was like, you know, almost towards 1,000, like 700 or so, and now there's like 40 some likes. So like again, just huge clumps being removed, and that was probably around when you came in, you know, because again, that's the whole point, is to downtrend the stream so that people don't see me interacting positively with people. It's always all supposed to be negative, you know? Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. But yeah, we've also figured out, you know, like the whole nonsense with showing people the streams and stuff like that. Like that's happening. Like I said, a lot of that's just Facebook, the trackers with Facebook. The fact that everybody's on there. Anyway, let's end here so I can get this stuff done and get it organized, and then I still have time to do my yard stuff I gotta do. So thanks for showing up in the stream, man. I appreciate you coming through. It's good to see you. And again, if MAGA Death in chat here. Again, I had asked you if you could tell me what it is you want instruction on with martial arts. That would be helpful. Again, it's nice to know what people want to see. So, you know, like we can talk about really anything. There's really not anything I'm sort of limited to with that. Aside from being on stream, I wouldn't be able to, like, if you wanted weapons and stuff like that, I would have to get like a toy or something. I can't use like a real weapon on stream. So that's the only, well, unless it's like a staff, like that's not a big deal. So that, like that I could do, but like that's the only thing with the instruction that unfortunately if I'm doing it you know, remotely and not in person, you know, like I cannot use a real thing, you know what I mean? So so that'd be the only thing with that. So yeah, that's my thing. I mean, you know, there are ways around that, and I'm kind of looking. I'm sort of trying to look into that a little bit, seeing what my options are. But there are somewhat ways around that, in some manners. But for the most part, yeah, I just have to. If it's a weapon related thing, I have to kind of like just use like a demonstrative, like not real sort of thing. But like I said, I can still do it as I've done before. I just you know, can't have a real weapon on the stream or on an upload even. Can't do it. Some people where they are, they can do that. So you'll see this sometimes because maybe the person wherever they are, they're allowed to do that. I cannot. So that's just something I won't be able to do, fortunately. But yeah, like I said, I can get around it with, you know, just substituting you know, like the combat sword that I have, that little foam sword. That thing is has a little bit of weight to it. But I mean, it's that's what it's for, obviously. And yeah, the whole point is for the instruction anyway, so it doesn't really matter. As long as you get the idea of what I'm showing. But yeah, like some of my favorite stuff, obviously, to do, like I love the, like I wish I could sit here and give you guys lots of Chinese broadsword training and stuff like that, because I freaking love that, because Japanese don't know what they're doing with technique. Like the samurai and stuff are very, very good, but the problem is they're very good at really, really, really one-off quick techniques that leave you exposed to openings and stuff like that. And I can fill in those blanks. I can show you how to make those movements more fluent so that they actually work in a real fight, versus you being a very well armored samurai that could take that hit and not necessarily think about it too much. You know, like that's the whole point. They a lot of what they did, they had padding and armor in certain places so that they wouldn't consider certain openings as openings. And you know, very precise, quick with their movements and stuff like that. But still very rigid, still very militaristic, versus combining both sides of the equation. You know, what you understand about the other styles, you know, like essentially just the flow of it, you know, momentum and things like that, you know. And that's the reality of that, is if a grappler went against one of those guys, they wouldn't last, you know, as long as he got a hold of his hands. So, the grappler's very good at that. Yeah. So like that's the point, is it would be fun to fill in those blanks and show you, you know, the answer to those, the actual real answer to those things where people make those mistakes. Like the thing where you're exposing a huge section of torso with having a sword over your head and stuff like that. There's a way that you can do that where it's not going to do that. So like things like that, where you're just holding it incorrectly. I mean, and you know, I can still show you how to do it that way too. You know, where it's more like the samurai way of doing it. But again, it's, unless you do it exactly that way, it will never work. And most of the time, unless you're a samurai of that skill and of that level, again, it's not going to work either. So it's much better to do this thing that is less effort and incorporates more footwork. And you know, the concept is that footwork is everything. So if you're rigid on your feet and you're not moving enough, well, that's, even Bruce Lee said that, you know, that's your main weakness. And that's what the samurai does constantly. Constantly the samurai makes that mistake. He lunges forward, stops his movement, halts it, just to whip the sword around a different direction, all while exposing a very vulnerable, you know, section of himself. And I can show you this, I can break it down, but again, it's the sort of thing where consistently I'm gonna have to use, you know, like a you know, like just an example sword, not an actual sword and stuff like that, unfortunately. But yeah, like that's the type of stuff I like to get into, because it should be known. It should be. You know, it's the stuff that people should realize as they are deducing things too. They should realize how to figure stuff out too. They should realize what's BS and what isn't about martial arts, because I think that's a huge gap for people with looking at sport martial arts versus one that's practically usable. Yeah, sport martial artists sit here and think they're the best fighters in the world. They really do, and oftentimes have a huge ego. Except what you don't realize about that is somebody that's properly trained to break a knee or sever a windpipe or something like that instantly ends the fight versus somebody that's literally just there to punch in the head and doesn't even understand how to properly block legs or trap or manipulate a body. You know, like that's what I'm talking about. Like, just nobody knows how to do that, and everybody's just trying to get really big arms and punch each other in the head. You know, like, it's not that. Like, yeah, that's a very, very good way to go about it, and it is really, really hard to, I'll admit that, you know, when you're first learning martial arts, it is definitely hard to combat against somebody that's much bigger, a boxer, really trained, fast hands. Sure, it's one of the hardest things to do. But once you do it, everything makes sense, and suddenly you're like, yeah, that's never going to happen again. And now it's like a joke. Now it's like a joke. Now I can't believe that I did that like that for so long. You know, like, I thought like that for so long. It was just a concept I had to understand. So, you know, the whole point is, like, people miss those concepts a lot of times. They don't understand what Bruce Lee was trying to do. And he was killed. Like, that's the whole point. Like, you know, like China does not like it when people actually do give away the real, like, if anybody actually knows the real thing, that's the whole point. They sit there and they go after those people. And I really, really believe that had a lot to do with it. You know, the fact that he was, you know, like, you know, giving away the secrets of the 1-inch punch and stuff like that. And, you know, what you need to understand about that is that's to motivate people. Just because he's giving away those secrets doesn't mean anybody's going to be able to accomplish that. I have seen in my instruction many, many, many people struggle and struggle and struggle and struggle and struggle to even understand how to break a cinder block, let alone understand a 1-inch punch. And I promise you, you can't break a cinder block, you will not understand the 1-inch punch. Like, literally, the two go hand in hand. So, and you're not breaking that cinder block with force. You're not hitting it as hard as you can. That's the point. These assholes that line up and just hit the bricks as hard as they can and injure themselves, I will just never understand that. You know, they're hitting it with their head or their, like, who the fuck cares? What are you proving? Show me that you exerted zero effort. Show me that your hand barely touched the brick and it broke. Then you're impressive. I don't care how strong you can fucking get. Hit it in exactly the right fucking spot. Use science. Because science will also tell you, yep, that's true. You hit it exactly right. How many times have you guys seen that happen? Where, like, you see something that like, you just can't even explain it. You know, something barely hits something else and it breaks. And no, it hit it exactly right with exactly the right trajectory to break it apart and do exactly what it did right when it did it. So that's that, you know, that's the whole point. And the whole point of me talking about martial arts was to kind of give this person a little bit of time to answer my question, but they haven't. So you see the real support that we get. You know, you see how people ask for things and then just fucking leave the stream. So this is the reality of the people on my channel. And if I see that guy one more time and he asks me for something one more time, he better be in the chat the next time that I give a follow-up and spend the time to do it, or he's getting blocked. I'm done with it. I'm done with the people masquerading on my channel, sitting here trying to look like chatters and stuff like that, when really you're just trying to get me to talk about certain things. You know, to fulfill some sort of curiosity that you have. I'm not doing it anymore. So you can either be in chat to hear the answer to your question that I gave, or you can get blocked. It's your choice. But don't come in my fucking chat and ask me to do something and then leave the fucking chat. Especially when I'm sitting here and I am talking to you and responding to what you said. It's extremely rude. Well, that's the second time I've seen that person do that too. They did that earlier. Not earlier as in today, but they definitely did that somewhat recently. So, keeping an eye on that. I have to go now. Thanks to the actual supporters. Thanks 365.